This is Molly Reardon. Sigil Magic 3. So, if you've watched the previous videos, you've made your sigils. But there's another way that you can make them. You can use the regular alphabet, or you can use the Theban alphabet. That's the witch's alphabet, and you'll see that come through in this video. Now, when you take all the vowels out of your statement, for instance, I am a homeowner, and you're left with the letters that are left over, you can make those into a mantra. Remember, your subconscious mind responds, your unconscious, your subconscious responds to symbolism. So you don't want to say, I am a homeowner. You want to take what's left of those letters and make them into a mantra. So all the vowels are gone, and it may sound a little funny, but you're turning symbolism into mantra. And a mantra is just something you say over and over again, usually 108 times. And you can do that either in the regular alphabet or the Theban alphabet, the witch's alphabet, which I will put up in the video. You'll see it go by. Now, when I was a teenager, I married an Italian man, and his mother lived upstairs. And she taught me to cook. She was the oldest of 11 children. She was a great cook because I had children and I wanted to know how to make them some nice things. So my daughter will call me and ask me for the chicken soup recipe with the little meatballs or the lentil recipe. And I'll tell her the most important ingredient is love. So that's another way to do a sigil. You can take the spoon, usually it's a wooden spoon, and draw your sigil right into the food. Because it will put that intention into the food. So for me, it would be love. I like to do that when I cook for people that I love. Because in ancient times, you could be burned at the stake or tortured, or anything could happen to you. And even these days, there is still, we've come a long way, but there's still a little bit of a stigma attached. So some people don't want everyone to know that they do this or what they're doing. So that's a quiet way you can put a nice sigil into the food. So some people use mala beads to count out the 108 mantras that you've made. If you watch the first video, when you make your sigil, you're left with all the letters that are not vowels, and you turn that into a sigil. So you'll say that, you'll make a mantra out of that, and you'll say it 108 times. So what some people will do is they will arrange their mala beads into the pattern of their sigil before they begin saying the mantra out loud or inside their mind if they're not in a place where they can do that. I do not have any tattoos, but some people will get a tattoo of their most frequently used symbol, their sigil. So there's different ways that you can use the sigil. As we said before, there's many ways. They can be used in good luck, talismans, they can be part of rituals, parts of spells, but they're individual to you and they are tailored to you, unless you choose to buy a symbol, a sigil that's already out there, for instance, like Venus, for love. So drop in the comments if you've ever done any of this, or if you'd like to do it, or if you're going to be doing it. If it sounds appealing to you, I'd love to hear about that. And so you don't have to be a specific religion or tradition in order to do this. Anybody can do this. And as I said in the previous video, a lot of people will do it in secret until they achieve their goal, because they don't want other people's energy, other people's intention influencing their energy and their intent. Because we're working with energy here. Everything is energy. Even when people pray, they're working with energy. And so even if you don't have to have a lot of money to work with sigils, even when you step out of the shower, you can use your finger and you can draw a sigil on the mirror after a steamy shower. I know one man, he got kicked out of his house, and when he was a teenager, his mother was insane, alcoholic, and doing drugs and stuff, and so she threw him out of the house. So he had to beg to sleep in the laundry room, and there was a mirror in there, so he used to take soap and make his sigil on the mirror so he could see it. Some people put hidden sigils on the backs of picture frames or wall art for a happier home. Some people paint sigils in the door frames or the door jambs to protect the entrances from unwelcome spirits. Some people sew sigils into their pillowcases for a good night's sleep and pleasant dreams. So as you can see, the list is endless. So you really should start, unless you're already expert or you already have learned about this, I would start with the first video and watch all three before you start to make your sigils, and take all of the information and do with it as you wish. These are but suggestions. Tell me if you're getting any inspiration from this or any ideas. Which ones did you like best? Which ones will you do? I would love to hear that. So I think that this is an eye-opener for a lot of people when they start to look around the world and they realize that either intentionally or unintentionally, companies their logos are basically sigils. So enjoy using these in your kitchen, and know that in ancient times people had to do it in secret this way because they would be killed for it, basically. But in most places we have the freedom to do this, in most places, which is wonderful. So we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. So those are just a few of the ways to use sigils. And like I said in the beginning, you really don't need a lot to do this. Sometimes when you see videos on magic, it requires years of training and signing up and paying hundreds of dollars. No, not with this. You don't have to, unless you decide to go with the Keys of Solomon. Those do require a bit of work, but just to do sigils, a piece of paper, a pen, and even if you don't have that, stepping out of the shower, you can draw your sigil on the mirror in the steam, or you can even use soap to draw on your mirror if you don't want anybody to know what's going on. So there's a lot of ways to go about this. It's very powerful, but it's the energy of the divine, and it's your unconscious you're working with, your subconscious. We're starting to find out, science is starting to catch up with all of this and tell us that we are way more powerful than we know. And our minds can do, most people are using only about a percentage of their mind. Most people don't use 100% of their power. So I want you to take a moment to just remember who you are. Take a deep breath in of light and breathe out all that no longer serves you. Let's take a couple of deep breaths into the bottom of your belly. Breathe in. Breathe out all that no longer serves you. One more. deep, deep breath. And just imagine a cord going into the bottom of your spine to ground you, and the sun's pouring in through your head, filling your whole body. Let the power of the sun fill us and burst out all around us as we say, I am the sun, I am the sun, I am the sun. Thank you for joining me today. Like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. Much love to you. Have fun with your sigils.